Everyone has a place here. Whether you are seeking faith, questioning, or walking strong in your journey with Christ, you are welcome. Through diverse perspectives, we celebrate the beauty of God's creation in all people. Title: Don't Keep Your Love in a Box. The first time I ever held something fragile in my hands, it was my grandmother's perfume bottle. Crystal, cool to the touch, and stoppered with a tiny golden lid. She told me it was too valuable to be wasted, so it sat, unused, on a shelf. Year after year, dust gathered around it, but she never wore it. She died with that bottle unopened. I remember thinking, even as a child, what good is a perfume that no one breathes in? That thought, just a flicker in my young mind, followed me through the years. Only much later, in a hospital room, holding another hand that would soon go cold, did I truly understand what she meant and what she missed. And perhaps that's why the story of the woman with the alabaster jar has never let me go. She broke the jar and poured the perfume on his head. Mark 14 verse 3. The story, early present. It was the late 1990s. The world was humming on the edge of change. The internet was no longer just science fiction, and cell phones were still too heavy for a pocket. I grew up in a neighborhood where people waved across fences and borrowed sugar without asking. But even there, love was rationed. People saved their best words for funerals. They saved their apologies until guilt pressed them flat. They saved their tenderness until time ran out. My mother, God rest her soul, was the opposite. She believed love was something you spent recklessly. She used to sit us down at the table and say, "Don't keep your love in a box. Break it open now. People need to smell it while they're alive." I didn't always listen. None of us did. Transition into the future. Fast forward, it's 2045. Cities look like glass and steel paintings now, drones hum in the sky, and holograms sit in for teachers when they're sick. People live longer, healthier lives, but the heart hasn't caught up. We still hold back. We still hoard our love. We text instead of call. We react with emojis instead of speaking truth. We scroll through digital obituaries and think, I should have reached out. And in this shining new world, one truth from the past century still holds: time runs out the same as it did before. Everyday truths interwoven for you. 1. You cannot hug a memory. 2. You cannot replay a conversation that never happened. 3. You cannot pour perfume on someone's head once they are gone. My friend Joseph learned this the hardest way. He was a quiet man, always working, always saving for someday. His wife, bright, funny, a singer in the church choir, waited for him to take her on the trip he promised. He said next year. Then the year after. Then she was diagnosed. By the time he realized someday had expired, it was too late. He sat by her bed, whispering words he should have spoken years earlier, words that seemed too heavy now. Nicodemus brought perfumes for Jesus after he was gone. Joseph brought words after his wife couldn't hear them. And both acts were swallowed by silence. She did what she could. Mark 14 verse 8. Those 5 words burn. Because they remind us, you don't have to do it all. You just have to do what you can. And do it now. Let me speak to you plainly. Right now, this very second, there is someone you love. Maybe you've been holding back. Maybe pride has built a wall. Maybe you're waiting for the right moment, the perfect gift, the birthday, the anniversary, the someday. But someday is a thief. Don't wait until their chair is empty. Don't wait until their phone goes unanswered. Don't wait until flowers must be laid on stone instead of placed in their hands. Take whatever jar you've been guarding, the words, the apology, the hug, the invitation, the forgiveness, and break it open. Pour it out while they can still feel it, while they can still breathe it in. Because love, kept in a box, suffocates. But love, poured out, multiplies. Now is a good time for a reflection. We live in an age obsessed with efficiency. We optimize schedules, hack productivity, automate connection. We save time as if we can spend it later. But love does not work like time. Love wasted today cannot be saved up for tomorrow. The woman with the alabaster jar understood something we forget: value is not in preservation but in presence. Perfume locked away has no purpose. Kindness unspoken dies in the throat. Look back over the past century, and you'll see the same pattern repeating: people regretting what they didn't say, not what they did. Regretting the silence, not the song. If history is a teacher, its lesson is simple: spend your love recklessly. Pour it out while you can. It's a modern-day scene. It will be an anchor moment for you now. Picture this: you're sitting in your kitchen tomorrow morning. The light is spilling across the counter. Your phone buzzes, an alert, a message, a reminder. But instead of checking it, you think of someone you love. You see their face in your mind. You hear their laugh. You remember the last words you spoke to them. Now ask yourself, what if those were the last words you ever spoke? That pause you just felt? That weight in your chest? That's the jar in your hands. You can set it back on the shelf, or you can break it open today. The takeaway just for you now. Years from now, no one will care how perfect your schedule was, how efficient you became, how many tasks you crossed off. But they will remember how you made them feel. And you will remember too. The alabaster jar was not remembered because it was beautiful. It was remembered because it was broken. So don't keep your love in a box. Break it open. Pour it out. Let the fragrance fill the room while there's still time. Because someday, someone will tell your story. And the question will be, were you remembered for holding back or for pouring out? What she has done will also be told in memory of her. Mark 14 verse 9. This will be poetic and heartfelt. God still speaks. The question is, have you listened through His word to you today? May I ask, are you listening today for the voice of God in His word, His living book? If you haven't yet, remember this: when you seek Him in His word, He will meet you there. Penned by Gary Conan Doyle. In worship of God's wonderful glory.
Thank you for joining me today on Whispers with Gary. If this story or song touched your heart, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and share, so together we can keep spreading God's whispers of hope and truth. Hey, thanks for listening. If you're still here, something in this story or song clicked with you. So here's a little secret. When you hit thumbs up, it tells the YouTube gremlins, hey, more of this. And if you subscribe, it's like saying, yeah, I want in. So go ahead, tap like, hit subscribe, and make sure you don't miss what's next. Because this ride, it's just getting started.